It's just been 3-4 days now. India winning the ICC Champions Trophy and Rohit Sharma's legacy is getting cemented. There is a lot of debate whether this is the greatest Indian white ball team at this point in time. But those people who cried advantage, they have still not stopped. There are some legitimate grouses. And one of them, when you look at it, is former West Indies pacer Andy Roberts. Andy Roberts has stated that how long can India get an advantage from the ICC? Because in this Champions Trophy, you saw two major things. One, India didn't go to Pakistan. Second, India didn't have to travel. Now on that part, Andy Roberts speaking with Midday, he said, India can't get everything. ICC must say no to India at times. India even had an advantage in the 2024 T20 World Cup. They knew in advance where their semi-final would be played. At Champions Trophy, India did not have to travel at all. He went on to say, in an ICC event, who doesn't travel? The first point that Andy Roberts has stated is absolutely spot on. India did get an advantage in the 2024 T20 World Cup because they knew that their second semi-final would be Guyana, with special kind of reservations in the way cut-off time, over-reduction, all those things. Because the schedule was done in a particular way. Here, they didn't travel. Now here Andy Roberts is wrong. Because in the initial draft agreement also, India was slated to play in Lahore. They were not supposed to travel anyways. But what gave people who said India have an advantage was the way how the schedule was made. 1 day gap, you don't know who's going to be A1, A2. Two teams had to travel all the way to Dubai 1 day prior. They knew the result, they had to fly back to Pakistan. Now that is chaotic. That is an advantage. However, not traveling in the CT is not an advantage because in the initial draft also, India were not slated to travel. On the other point, Andy Roberts mentioned, I know a lot of money comes from India, but cricket ought not to be a one country sport. It now looks like a one nation competition and the playing field is not level. Fine. In two ICC events, India have won. T20 World Cup Champions Trophy. But whether it is a level playing field, now on the logistical side and on the financial side, it's not. It isn't a level playing field at all. India dominates most of the revenue. India dominates most of the economy. But as far as results are concerned, India have just won 2 now. But Australia have also won 2, the World Cup and the WTC. So as far as skill is concerned, India may be closing up now. And now you may see the era of domination that is there. Is it wrong? Maybe, maybe not. But Andy Roberts has stated, ICC stands for the Indian Cricket Council. India dictates everything. If tomorrow India says, listen, there should be no balls and wides, mark my word, the ICC will find a way to satisfy India. Now, this is a very serious allegation that he's leveled. We all know that there is a lot of murmurs on social media about this entire thing. That India does it, that International Cricket Council, ICC, that's not the real term. It is the Indian Cricket Council. Most of the Pakistan public, most of all the other publics will cry out that. But however, make one thing clear here. India can dictate as far as the economic clout is concerned, and Pakistan have found it out the hard way. But also people need to understand that hostile relationships exist between India and Pakistan. People may come and people may go and say, oh yes, India and Pakistan have a good bonhomie. But I'm sorry. On the political front where it's most needed, India and Pakistan don't have good relationships. And that is why this special thing will remain every single time until Pakistan doesn't mend its way. So, India, will they want to do anything like this? We have to only wait and watch. But do you agree with Andy Roberts' assessment? Like India is like dictating terms to world cricket. Does the International Cricket Council stand for Indian Cricket Council? Was Roberts' thing on not traveling in the CT made sense? Because a lot of people say, oh, but South Africa didn't travel in 2009. But for all my colleagues and all my friends who have followed cricket, Look at where the venues were. 2009 was mostly played in two venues. What do you do then? 75% probability that one team will play most of their games there. So that is why, understand one thing, the difference between Johannesburg and Centurion isn't as vast as Lahore and Dubai. So it is misplaced. The 2009 example is misplaced on a lot of terms. So that's why, do you agree that India had an advantage? Or do you think this is just jealousy creeping out now? You can write to us in the comments below. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.